Welcome to Business Legal Lifecycle TV, the live TV show all about the legal aspects of your business. We've designed this TV show to educate you in simple to understand plain English ways for complex legal terms, to help you understand why you undertake certain legal aspects of your business, and to help you develop a plan for the future success of your business. Did you know that any business owner is on average 7 months away from losing everything? And that is the average time that it takes for a successful business to fold when an aspect of their business is not set up correctly. Have you ever wanted to get legal advice but didn't understand what was going on? And do you feel like there's a divide between lawyers and their clients? If that's so, then this TV show is for you. We've designed the show to empower you and your business with the knowledge and tools to help ensure that those problems that so many businesses encounter don't happen to you. Business Legal Lifecycle TV delivers a twice-weekly show focusing on the legal aspects of your business. At lunchtime on Mondays, we present Fast Fix Monday, a quick 5 to 10 minute show to give you some actionable steps to consider for this week in your business. And at lunchtime on Wednesdays, we present our in-depth show. It's generally between 30 minutes to an hour to go through the complicated legal aspects of your business in a simple to understand and plain English way. That can be through educational pieces or interviews with experts in the fields. We welcome you to Business Legal Lifecycle TV, and here's our show.
Welcome everyone to Business Legal Lifecycle TV, or if you're listening to this on the podcast. My name's Jeremy Stretton.
Hi everyone, my name's Craig Mason, and today the title of Fast Fix Monday is Problems Multiplied. So we're going to talk about the top 7 reasons that business expansion causes problems in your business. So we'll go through the top 7. Jeremy, if you want to start with the first one.
Yeah, sure. So the first one is cash flow crunch. When you're in business, and anyone who's been in business for any period of time will know that cash ebbs and flows in the business. You know, you get lots of cash in one day, then you have none the next day, then you get stuff in the next week and it comes out. You really need to be careful when you're doing the expansion that you've thought about where your cash is coming from. So whether that's you're going to use your operating cash flow, so that's the cash flow that's in your business on a day-to-day basis, or whether you're going to get financing cash flow. So that means that you're going to borrow money from another source. You need to have a think about where that cash is going to come from and make sure that it's as smooth as possible, because you do spend a lot of money in the expansion phase, and you want to make sure that you don't lose money in your business by not being able to pay for the things that you need, as well as keeping your business operating. So that's the first one. Craig, number 2.
Yeah, the second one, which sort of flows from the first one, Jeremy, about cash flow, is spending or going on a spending spree. So it's obviously tempting. Orders are coming through, new businesses coming in, to see that as a sign to spend money. Expansion or growth, there is going to be some expenses with new team members, infrastructure, those sorts of things. But we encourage everyone not to sort of use that as a license to go out and spend as much as they possibly can on other things. Still take stock of your business, do your projections, do your budgets, those sorts of things. There are going to be some expenses going forward, as Jeremy said, and now's probably not the time to be spending money on various other things, and it's concentrating on the expansion and the cost that it's going to be for that. So that's the second tip. Don't go out on a massive spending spree. So number 3, Jeremy? Great,
yeah. So the third one is operational clumsiness. So here we're talking about when you have the way that your business works in your current premises, whether that's an office or a shop, you'll have the way that your operations actually work. When you expand, any problems that are in those operations, it multiply at that point in time. So you really need to be careful to make sure that you've got systems in place, and also to think about what needs to happen to make sure that the multiple locations work together. So the second one might seem obvious, but it's something that people miss on a regular basis, making sure that their systems are integrated. So number 4, Craig.
Yeah, number 4, we came up with leadership and the shortfalls. So any leadership faults that currently exist, when the business is expanding, they'll be exemplified and become a bigger issue. So just as Jeremy was talking about processes, if they're not in place, the same holds true for leadership skills. So before you expand, you need to look at how the leadership team is in place, and then if there are any shortfalls, take some steps to try to correct that now before you expand, because if you expand with those things existing, they're going to continue, obviously, and it could become even a bigger issue going forward. So have a look at the leadership, see if there's any shortfalls, consider ways to fix it, and do that before you start to expand. So that's number 4. Jeremy, number 5?
The number 5 is customer service failures. So this is a problem that a lot of businesses will face as they get bigger and as they expand. When you're small, you can control how things are done, and you have a lot more control over what happens in the business. When you expand, you necessarily have to bring other people into the business. So what happens is that sometimes customers don't feel the love as much as they did when you were in business. And so you can actually find it quite difficult to keep up with the demand with other people. There's necessarily a shortfall that will happen in the time that you've got to spend, because you've got to spend more time on the expansion of your business. But you need to have a think about what that actually looks like from a customer, to make sure that your customers are getting a consistent service, because obviously you've been successful doing your business one way, and you want to make sure that keeps on going. So that's number 5. Number 6, Craig.
Number 6, it's all about decision making. It sort of flows from the leadership shortfalls. So when your business is growing, it may mean that you might have to step back from the day-to-day sort of operations into more of a leadership type role, and working on the business rather than in the business. So that can cause a bit of, I guess, disconnect between the management side of things and the actual nitty-gritty of on the tools doing whatever it is that you might be doing in business decision making. So it's really important that you consider those sorts of things, put something in place that allows it to continue seamlessly, that you're working more on the business, but it's all about communication with the staff and making sure everyone's on the same page with that. And you'll have other people doing the work potentially, and you'll be doing more of the business decision type making and the growth process. So it's important to note that there are going to be some changes, and address them with the team, make sure everyone's on the same page, to hopefully mean that there's no resentment there or anything like that, with no longer doing any or as much work, but you're doing other things on the business, and to work out how much time you need to spend per week on the business and what you need to do in the business and those sorts of things. So definitely something you need to consider, and if you don't do it, then you're going to have a problem, and that's why it's one of our top 7. Jeremy, number 7.
Yeah, the final one is human resource risk. So it's the nature of human beings to worry, and change makes people worry, especially when you put change and that might put the business at risk. People do worry about that. So you need to make sure that you're able to address your staff's concerns about the expansion, and that you can address any questions that they've got and make sure that everything goes off without a hitch. Communication, as I said before, is crucial. If you're not communicating with your staff, they don't know what's going on, and that can cause massive problems with them. So human resources, just with your existing staff, are a big risk. The other flip side is the human resource risk of hiring new people. Whenever you hire new people, you're bringing new people into your team. So there's going to be inevitably a new attitude, new way of doing things. And so you need to make sure that you manage that properly. So that's human resources risks, and that's the top 7 reasons. Craig?
Yeah, excellent. So top 7 reasons. We've got cash flow, looking at that. Don't go out and spend all your money at once. Have a look at what you need to spend money on. Make sure your processes are in place. Address any leadership shortfalls. Think about customer service. Make sure that's in order, because as you expand, that could be affected. Look at how decisions are being made. Make sure there's communication about that. And as Jeremy just said, human resources, looking at that, making sure that everyone's on the same page and there's no one worrying about what's happening. So that's the top 7. That's it for Fast Fix Monday. Thanks for listening or viewing BLL TV for today. We'll be back on Wednesday with excellent interview regarding expansion, specifically about international, but we'd still encourage everyone to tune in, because there's a lot about expanding locally that can be, it's the same for international. So definitely tune in on Wednesday. Jeremy, anything else?
No, that's all. Thanks, everyone. See you on Wednesday.
Thank you.